It is the Riot Podcast. Good to be back after a vacation weekend. We did do a show on Black Friday, but going back to all the way back to Wednesday is just with the holidays. Not your typical weekend for us or typical week last week. But now we're all back and trying to get back into the swing of things today.
It's like our first long day in a while.
Yeah.
I'm not dreading it. I'm looking forward to it with eager anticipation.
Yeah, right. There's lots to, it's all about your attitude.
Yeah,
and if you look on the bright side, think about all the work we're going to get done today.
Great.
Yeah,
right?
think about all the things we can check off the to-do list.
Well, hopefully everybody had a wonderful weekend. We do have Cyber Monday, so if you want to check out shop.radiou.com today, you can get free shipping on our RadioU merch. And then Andrew from Project 86 is joining us in this podcast too.
And I'm warning everyone right now, you might have seen, this podcast is going to be very long.
Did we just talk too much?
Hudson just highlighted every single break. I'm not joking. There's like 3 that he didn't highlight. It's the entire. You might as well have just tuned in this morning.
The time off did us well. What can I say?
High on your own stuff today?
Yeah, right.
Hudson's like, do everything, Isaiah. We're doing 16 breaks today. Edit it all and put it all in there.
I wanted to give you some extra work.
It's okay.
I know some people really enjoy a long podcast every so often.
Well, and I think they were a little shorter. Oh, well, at least Black Fridays was probably a little shorter than normal.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
Making up for that.
So, yeah, we're making up for it. And I just choose to think that I highlighted and put so much stuff in the podcast today because I thought it was really good.
Let's keep a shorter intro then.
That'd be great, yeah. Hudson did all that, and then I'll re-edit, and I'll select which ones I really want to put in there.
Perfect.
So today we talked about a bookstore that lets you borrow slow cookers. Have you guys slow cooked? Are you guys
slow cooker store.
Yeah.
I think it's nice that it's not just slow cookers, but there's air fryers as well.
Yeah, I know.
They got the whole kitchen for you.
It's a great idea.
Yeah,
so
it actually is.
I'm not mocking it at all. I think it's actually a fantastic idea.
Yep.
We also talked about some Christmas lights.
Yay.
Which I am not putting up any Christmas lights, but I would consider
doing this.
The projector.
The lazy lights.
I think those are cool. I think the projectors are much cooler.
And they're easy to set up, but if you are in a certain area, you might get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get into do some big time trouble
there. It says they can shoot up to the lasers up to 10,000 feet.
Well, that's good for those that have a 10,000 foot tall house.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure
it's good that they made him so powerful, isn't it?
And then towards the end of the podcast, we talked about some robots that may be using your face and your likeness and your voices, and how we probably will not be chosen for that.
No, but dude, it'd be nice to get $200,000.
Yeah.
$200K. Imagine how that would just change your life. If you handed me $200K right now, I would take a break for a couple of years of working.
That's what you would do?
It's not enough.
It's not enough for us to live off of.
No.
So I think you have to be really careful because at first, what is it, that term, hillbilly rich?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where you get rich really, really fast and you don't know what to do with it. I think you'd have to really play that smart.
Oh, yeah.
But it'd be so nice.
If you got that kind of money, then you could either do one or two things. You could invest it or whatever and try to make it last as long as you could to kind of help build your wealth. Or you could not work for 3 years and have the greatest 3 years of your life, and then just go back to your normal everyday life.
You'd be like,
but then you'd go back to
hire me back.
Yeah, no, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm back.
You'd look and they'd look at your resume. I see this curious gap.
Yeah,
what were you doing?
That?
I was in Europe.
I had $200,000.
I was finding myself.
Yes.
Okay.
I found myself back here where I began with my normal everyday life.
You get
going through all the
I
money.
took 3 years off to think, and it all led me right to here.
Yeah.
Right back to
this is where I belong.
All the heart leads you back, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, we also talked about how in Korea, it's pretty much just no fun. That's what I've come up with now. I'm a person who likes to sing along, whether I'm in the car, in the shower, at a concert, but there, no singing.
Nope.
We
No
hear you
singing.
sing all the time around here.
Do you guys hear me sing? I do sing every now and then.
Every time
Not
you
like
walk
if
in and
you're
out of the
there,
room.
But you're always humming, which is really
Yeah.
nice. Now,
But
if
you
just
never
come
sing
in
on the
and just
show, though.
be
Yeah.
clapping.
I haven't yet. I had the weirdest situation ever this past weekend where I got into an Uber and they told me no talking.
Yeah, because you're not
Whoa.
supposed to.
You're not what?
Yeah, you're not supposed to because of COVID.
That was the first time I'd ever heard that. We got into the car.
It's not everybody who does that, but I think
That was
it's
the first time
it's a
ever.
thing. Yeah.
He said no talking. I've had a really long night.
Dude, you should have been really.
I was like, what?
Oh, wait, it wasn't COVID? He just had a really long
angry.
night?
He was angry. He was so.
Did you leave him a review with
What?
it?
Oh yeah, I gave him 1 star.
Yeah.
Did you
He
really?
was super mean. The issue is because we ordered an Uber And now like the Uber, the regular little Ubers are 3 people Ubers.
Yeah.
But we had 4 people. So we had to have someone sit in the front seat, and he made a whole scene about it.
Oh, yeah.
He was so mad. And then he was like, we got in the car. He was like, whatever. Okay, get him, whatever.
Yeah.
So then we get in the car, and, of course, we're a very respectful crew. And we're just, we probably wouldn't have taught that much anyway. But we get in the vehicle, and he goes, no talking. I've had a really long night.
You're like, dude, you're the one talking.
And we all even had, we had our masks, too.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like we were, like, a rowdy crew or anything crazy. We just needed a ride. And from literally at, like, a 4-minute ride, we just didn't feel like walking down the street. And he wasn't very happy with us.
So did you tip him well?
No chance.
No.
My first 1 star.
We've had a long intro now.
Yeah.
So now the podcast will be 2 hours and 43 minutes.
This is a 2-day podcast.
Get some snacks, snuggle in, and get ready for the podcast today.
Yeah. We'll catch you next time.
Bye. Have a good day.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Without talking about how the movies did over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And this was a long weekend, so extra time for people to go see movies. And they did. The number 1 movie in the United States over the weekend was Encanto.
So the Disney one.
The Disney one. It made over the entire Thanksgiving weekend about $40 million. Did you go see it?
I did not. I didn't see any movie theater movies.
Yeah, I didn't
But
either.
I feel like that was the first one where Disney went back from the no more like premiere access one.
Yeah.
And this was in theaters only.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're happy with that.
It's $40 million for a Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know. It's so weird. Our expectations are so out of whack.
They are.
That
I don't know what's a lot anymore for movies.
40 million seems fine for like a children's movie. I don't know what the reviews for that are. I know that that's one I could tell just from looking at it. Not interested.
Not gonna happen.
I didn't like the look of it. I don't like that anything you're gonna shove where it's Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm there. You're already starting from a low point with me.
Sure. I guess you're not the target, so that's okay.
I hate music.
I hate musicals.
In movies, anyways.
I hate animated music movies.
Yeah, right. People don't just sing all the time. Stop
Even in
it.
animated movies?
That's not how it works. It's not realistic to me.
That's a pass for Hudson, but it seems like, at least for movie theaters, that was number 1 at $40.3 million.
However, Ghostbusters Afterlife, that came in number 2, $35 million. Very interested. Still haven't gone to see it.
That is, I think, a better, because a lot of times with movie theaters now, you'll see them get like 40 million, and then the following week they're like, and here's 5 million.
It just drops off.
It's a really big drop off, but that one's not so bad.
Holding strong. And let's see. I saw a lot of talk. All of the talk I saw about movies over the weekend was House of Gucci.
How'd that do?
That it came in with 21 million, almost 22 million in its opening weekend. Which that's a very, although it's more high profile, it's still a very artsy,
indie sort of
movie.
It's
about a fashion designer family. So starring Lady Gaga and Jared Leto. So not exactly, as wide of an appeal, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what we can do to make you happy because it's also not a musical that's animated.
Yeah.
So there's a long list of what Hudson maybe might not be interested in.
Is it bad that I'm way more interested in House of Gucci than Encanto?
Well, why don't we end it at Ghostbusters, though? We're all more interested in that.
We're on board on that one. Eternals was 4, and actually, I think its box office went up compared to previous weeks because it was back to 11 million, which isn't bad compared to what it had been doing. And then there's a new Resident Evil movie.
I saw stuff for it, but I thought, this is bad. I thought it was for a game or something. I didn't think it was for an actual movie.
Is it like live action or anime?
I don't know. We missed it, but it's Welcome to Raccoon City made $8.8 million. If anyone knows anything about that one,
we don't care.
We don't care. Never mind.
Don't tell us. We don't need to be burdened with that information.
Actually, I do have some details. It's a reboot of Resident Evil, the other ones that they always did. And that one made the $8.8 million. It cost $25 million to make.
That seems bad.
This is the Riot RadioU.
Get a load of this, Nikki. We have a woman. She's from Tasmania, as in the country, the island nation in Africa.
Yeah.
And I think, anyways, and that's where Tasmania is it? Or is that Australia?
I'm gonna go with you. I don't know.
We'll just stop it right there. Tasmania, wherever that is. We have a woman who has pled guilty to stealing $940,000.
Dude, just call it $1 million at that point.
Yeah, right. Basically $1 million from her employer. It was a hospital, I believe. She was doing that so that she could fund her gambling addiction.
Aww.
But get a load of this, though. It was a website that doesn't actually let you win money.
Oh, so
I guess you could say that about all gambling, couldn't you?
Yeah, but I get what you mean. It was it's like if you were just playing a game. And it's a game of chance.
She might as well have been spending almost $1 million on Candy Crush.
Wow.
It's all the same.
So charged with 25 counts of computer-related fraud, 1 count of fraud, stole money. She worked at an account manager at a veterinarian hospital.
Oh, veterinary hospital,
between 2016 and 2019. And that's where she would make redundant bank transactions, and that's how she was able to cover up what she was doing.
Yeah, they said it was 475 fraudulent transactions total, which means they had to be like $2,000 each about?
Yeah.
$4,000 or for $94,940,000.
I always like when you see fraud things that was like, wow, that looks like it was a lot of work.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you're working hard at your fraud.
And you just don't know, I guess she was the account manager. But
so she was the one who could hide it.
Maybe it all went through her, but...
she transferred the money from the bank account for the vet hospital to a group of bank accounts for her, credit cards, and personal loans in her name.
Come on. A veterinary hospital. You're not just stealing. You're stealing from the animals.
Oh, no.
You're stealing from the dogs that are dying.
How could you?
The dogs in hospice care, and you're stealing from them.
When she was interviewed by police, she immediately said she was guilty. She just had a big gambling problem at that point.
But it's tough to wrap your head around the gambling that you can never actually, because at least if you're playing the lottery or you're playing on some kind of slots at any kind of casino that actually pays money, it's a bad thought process, but at least like, well, I'll pay off all this debt once I hit it. I keep going. Eventually I got to hit it one time and I'll pay it all back. She could never hit it. There's nothing to hit.
That's not usually the addiction part, because you don't end up winning a lot when you have a gambling problem.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So for her, it was just the constant playing over and over again. She said she got herself into so much trouble. She decided to keep going until she got caught, though. She was in her own little world playing this game.
Yeah, she really was. And it had to be a thing.
And she had a lengthy history of gambling, Hudson.
Oh.
So it wasn't just this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if maybe she also does real gambling.
She does. They said that she started off using poker machines and slot stuff, and that's where she kind of started from there.
Well,
so she has been a long time gambling aficionado. Yeah, basically.
I think aficionados might know that you can't win doing this.
That's true.
I don't know. But she, I guess it's a lesson to be learned that when you have a gambling addiction and you start taking other people's money, you're not just gambling with money. You're gambling with your life.
Well, also you are gambling with the pets. So if you're taking money from the dogs and cats, then it is next level.
Yeah, there should be an extra punishment just for that.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
I think, Isaiah, I brought you in because I just want to let you talk about any football game you want over the weekend. You can pick any one. We had like 5 days of football. Pick a game you'd like to discuss.
Let me tell you, Don just texted in, and Don said, go easy on Isaiah today. There was a tough, Ohio sports weekend. So it wasn't just the Buckeyes, but the Browns lost as well.
Yeah, I know it.
That's the two favorites for Isaiah.
Yeah, it was a tough weekend for sure. The worst part was the Browns played last night, so I stayed up later than I should have. I got like 4 hours of sleep.
Oh, no.
just to watch my team and lose in just disastrous fashion.
You stayed up. Did you think it was going to be a win? And
No, I knew the whole time.
You just felt like staying up, though.
But I was like, I had to stay up and watch the game. But at the end, I was sitting there watching the final drive, and I was like, I know how this ends. I know we don't win.
I'm not dumb.
But I'm going to stay up and watch it because there is a chance that we can win, and we didn't.
Oh, you're such a good fan.
Yeah. You did what a real fan would do, and that's watch despite your disbelief.
Yes.
So which were you more upset about, the Buckeyes or the Browns loss?
Oh, I was definitely more upset about the Ohio State loss for sure. The Browns lose way more frequently than Ohio State.
You're more used to it.
Yeah.
When they lose on Sunday, I'm like,
Desensitized.
well, the Browns lost, whatever. When Ohio State loses, I'm like, well, that's just disappointing because we don't lose. So
Especially
it's
when
an
they
odd
lose
thing.
to Michigan.
Well, was there any
Yeah.
other big losses from surprise
You want to
games?
move on from Ohio State losing so quickly?
I think everybody was all ready to move on Saturday.
Yeah.
They're like,
You
let's
don't-
just not bring it up.
You don't want to talk about Jim Harbaugh's comments where he says that some people were born on third thinking they hit a triple. You think that about Ryan Day? Anybody else
See,
on board with him?
I think that's kind of odd because Michigan's a pretty storied program. It's not like he's coaching for Maryland. Like you're coaching at Michigan, who for years and years and years has been a powerhouse. So you're on second when he started. So you're not that far
Yeah.
behind. If you can't recruit to Michigan, then you can't recruit. Like
He did.
if you can't recruit to Auburn or Texas or Oklahoma, you just aren't a good coach. So I don't know how you can even say
He
that
can
they're on third.
recruit to Michigan. He recruited pretty well.
Yeah,
Okay,
they have one win in how many years on Ohio State? I don't know if you can recruit
Guys,
that well.
remember, just the more you bring it up, the more hurt feelings come
Yeah.
out. So that's why I was like, let's just
Yeah.
move on.
This is, I always think with sports, and I'm not the originator of this theory, but that sports is where you can get out all of your, when politics, we tend to just defend our side no matter what, even when that's wrong. In sports, it's okay because it's doesn't actually mean anything. If we're wrong about Ohio State and Michigan, it's fine. We can just argue about it. And at the end of the day, nobody's lives are ending. Where, other things in the world, we get way more defensive about it. And
Problems arise.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And we actually we need to look inside sometimes and analyze. Are we really choosing the right side? But in sports, there is no right side. I mean, the winning side is the right side.
That's
but
true. I kept thinking because I know, for a lot of programs, when they have these big rivalry games, the coach will get a ton of money as like a bonus.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking for the game, I was like, oh, you're not getting your bonus. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I wonder how much the Michigan coach, how much his bonus is.
Oh,
Man.
for sure.
Because that's just such a,
was,
those rivalry games are the big points in the program.
the funny thing about Jim Harbaugh is he was already getting bonuses before he was beating
He was?
Ohio
Yeah, I
State
know.
for some reason.
He was getting a ton of money
Hey,
not beating Ohio State.
I guess they just really believed.
Well,
Yeah.
And it
sometimes
finally paid off.
you got a second place bonus. Yay!
Yay. Yeah.
Well, they
it
get a
was-
Rose Bowl bonus too, so
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
You get a ton of bonuses no matter what you win
They
or
make a
lose.
lot of money no
That's
matter
what.
what.
You're saying, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, it was a tough weekend for a lot of programs, and I guess just everybody take it easy on each other today.
Yes.
And
Except
be
for
nice
me,
about it.
I'm riding high, baby.
Hudson's feeling great.
Ohio State lost.
He's-
Packers won.
You had a great weekend.
I did.
I know.
I've been
It was
due. I feel
best
like
case
I've been
scenario.
due.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
You've heard of libraries for books, right?
Libraries, yeah.
Libraries. You might have even heard of libraries with movies, with music. They have a lot of different stuff. But have you heard of a library that would let you borrow a crock pot?
Oh, like a slow cooker thing?
Yeah.
Why would it have that? Is this an actual library or
It's
like
a real
someone's
It's a book library that is also branching out.
branching out? They want something else. I guess that's a smart idea. So is it just more kitchen stuff or
It's actually,
is it only crock pots?
They say it's all kinds of stuff. They've got crock pots, like sewing machines. They've got like certain toys for kids that are maybe a little more educational, it looks like. air fryer, board games, all kinds of stuff that you can check. I think they've got tools you can use.
Okay, so you check it out. It's not like you go bring your ingredients, start your crock pot thing in the morning at the library and come back later and get it.
That's actually not a bad idea, though.
So you take it home.
You might never get that crock pot back.
It's not too odd. I mean, I know our library lends out even art. So you can go and
They do?
Yeah, you can take
so
pictures.
You can make it look like your house is finally decorated.
You can go grab some stuff. You rent it out for a while. You bring it home, and then you just return it when you're done.
That shows the difference in like in neighborhoods. We're renting out art at our library. Here, you take a sewing machine and toys for your kids because honestly, actually they say in this story that it is an area where it's not as well off. And so for a lot of people,
great idea.
Yeah, they say it can be used as if you just have a small apartment and you can't, which I totally get, having, not that my apartment or my house is very small, but just having so many of the kitchen things and you only use them once a year, especially around the holidays, to just be able to go, hey, I'll just check in the air fryer, whatever it is I need for Thanksgiving dinner.
Now, the air fryer was the number one thing bought during the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do have an air fryer now, but they were saying,
don't have everything else.
If you don't have some of this stuff, that you don't have to buy it, but then you can also try it to decide if you want to buy it. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it actually really is. It would be fun if other libraries could get into this. And
they have coding games, board games, puzzles, the tool things as well.
Yeah.
That's a super good idea because I'm not going to the library for books or movies at this point.
Can you
go for something else?
Can you get behind this one too? I know that a lot of like department store, or like Home Depot or AutoZone would let you borrow the tools you need for your project on your car or your house.
Yeah.
But it's so intimidating.
Does Home Depot lend them to you, or do you rent them?
I think you might have to rent them.
Yeah, you have to pay for
AutoZone gives you certain stuff, like some of those give you certain tools that you can just use real quick. But it's even if they are free, it's intimidating to do that. Where you go to the library,
no one knows.
Yeah, who's going to judge you?
You're right.
You don't know if they know anything about cars either. At AutoZone, they probably have at least some kind of knowledge, which you would think would be helpful. But in some ways, it just makes you feel bad that you don't know.
So this was at a public library in the North Little Rock area, and that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, let's all do it.
So if you've never been to a library, or as Isaiah called it a few weeks ago, the bookstore. You're like, nope, that's not it.
Now he would call it the Crockpot store.
Your library might have a few other things that you can take.
Well, they have that COVID tests. We know that as well.
They do have that.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, you've got your Christmas lights set up, right?
We're all good. We're ready.
Do you have any of those laser light things that shoot onto your house?
Those were super popular a few years ago.
And they're still pretty popular.
They are. And I always wanted one. And I bought one from Amazon, and it was so bad. I returned it, and I never went to a local place to find a better one.
You never went back?
I never did. But I do always look at them, and I'm like, oh, they look so nice. And it's an easy way to go big without having to decorate your whole house.
Yeah, you can tell some of the houses where they're like, I don't feel like setting stuff up. And so they just get the little projector thing.
And that is fine.
Nobody's complaining about that. They're pretty affordable too now. But did you know that they're affordable, but they could cost you $11,000.
Well, why? Are they like a fire hazard?
They're not a fire. Well, not that we know of, but what they are
laser
is they are a hazard to airplanes.
The lights on your house?
The little projector, the laser projectors.
The one I bought in return was not that powerful.
You don't think so?
I feel like to really bother a plane, but I'll hear you out.
The FAA is warning people to make sure when you set up your holiday lights that with those projectors, they are aimed at your house only and not up into the sky because they can distract planes, especially when they are taking off or landing. So if you're closer to an airport, they distract the pilots. They can temporarily blind them.
With Christmas.
With the power of Christmas.
I mean, how awesome would it be? You see the plane go by and it's got the Christmas trees on it. Like, wow,
actually, that would be amazing.
But I understand that is a distraction.
Yeah. And so if you, I guess, are a repeat offender, I think it's pretty unlikely that you'll actually get caught with the $11,000 fine, but that's the max. That's the worst case scenario.
Everybody.
But they just want to let you know to not shoot those up into the sky. Because and as evidence of this, so this year they've already had 8,550 laser strike reports, and that's as of November 22nd, so last week.
Really?
Before Thanksgiving.
They already had that many?
Yeah, right? I don't know what that's all about.
You're not doing it right if it's not projected on your home and it's projected up into the sky.
But here's what I don't get. So there was over 8,000
complaints
just by November 22nd of where they had incidents where they had laser shooting into the sky that affected pilots. They only had 6,852 in all of last year. So
I think more people
we're
are
way ahead of
decorating
schedule.
early. Yes, everybody's decorating early.
And maybe the projectors are really, those laser light projectors are really a popular item this year.
Honestly, everybody decorated early, but we're just all messed up and it's just decorated wrong.
Yeah, it's all shooting into the sky.
Well, Marka texted in, said we call those lazy lights.
Lazy.
I love that. That's absolutely
great.
true. So if you have any of the lights that shoot on your house, make sure they're low enough and they're not shooting into the sky because you don't need to decorate the planes as they fly by.
Can I make a confession here real quick?
Yeah, you have one?
I have one of those laser lights, but it's worse than that.
What?
I came back from my trip to visit my family for Thanksgiving, and you know where the laser light was shooting?
What?
It was shooting up into the sky.
Your parents were?
No, mine was.
Oh, yours was?
When I returned, the weather had an effect on the laser light projector.
And moved it?
And I might be getting fined here or going to jail. I don't know.
That's awesome. I can tell on you. I'll submit a report to the FAA and be like, hey, Hudson has them.
If there was any reports, I'm giving myself up.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
The dill pickle chicken nuggets. Only available at Burger King in Canada.
I love pickle chips. So these have chicken in them, or is it just looking like a chicken nugget, or what?
It is a chicken nugget, but it is chicken and dill pickle inside. It is actually, it's not just flavored.
Together?
Yeah, they're all ground up together there.
I would take this totally. I love pickles, and I love deep fried, and I don't mind chicken nuggets, so I think this is the perfect combination.
Yeah, I'm more, I'm not so... let me start over. Can we cut there and start over? I don't like the texture of pickles. It's any vegetable or fruit. I hate the feel of having them in my mouth.
So you don't like cucumbers?
No.
But the pickling,
the pickle flavor,
is that fine?
I'm good with.
Yeah.
So, and pickle chips, actually, the deep fried pickle chips, that's not so bad. So these could be potentially good. I'll tell you what, I've got two issues. One, I guess this is inflation and the Canadian dollar and whatever, but here you can get like 10 nuggets for $1 at Burger King.
Well,
they're just giving them away.
They have to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I think they over-ordered, and they did their ghost pepper ones.
Yeah.
They're cheaper here, but is the $3 for 8 of the dill pickle chicken nuggets too much?
Yeah, that feels like a lot
not
for
too
Burger
bad.
King.
I mean, you're getting a pickle and chicken.
Yeah.
So you're getting both.
More bang for your buck.
My only issue is the Burger King nuggets tend to be somewhat soft and soggier.
Yeah.
So then you're adding the pickle and the chicken.
A lot of times they're pretty bland too. So maybe this actually could fix that issue.
It could.
But my other issue is, why not? Like, you missed out on a huge opportunity. Just call them chickle nuggets.
Oh, gosh.
Wouldn't that be great?
I don't know if I would want to go through the drive-thru and order the chickle nuggets.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you. I'll just say dill pickle chicken nuggets.
I would like an order of 8 chickle nuggets.
Chickle nuggets?
Chickle nuggets.
Well, if there's any RadioU Canadian listeners who try the dill pickle chicken nuggets from Burger King, will you let me know?
The chickle nuggets.
Man, I love pickle chips. So I think I would probably like it if they added chicken to it too.
You know what? Maybe there's a good reason they're not called chickle nuggets.
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We've brought this up already today. I don't know if anybody else experiences this, where you get back from your long weekend And you definitely go into the long weekend. You're like, oh, man, when Monday comes around, work is going to be so much easier. I'm going to feel so rested after such a long, all this time off for us to sleep in and to just not have to worry about stuff. Because it is great when you're on vacation. You don't have to worry as much.
Yeah, if you guys got a lot of time off last week and then, now you're back and today's the day.
Yeah, and then you get to today, and again, I don't know if anybody else is dealing with this, but you get back to today and you're like, I don't feel like I am any less tired than I normally am.
Actually,
I don't feel any more refreshed. And I actually dreaded coming back to work more so than normal today.
You feel more tired and possibly slightly sick, even though you're not.
Yeah.
You're just, so tired.
Just trying to find anything within yourself, like maybe I don't have to go today.
Aww.
Wait, is it really Monday?
Yeah.
Or did I lose track of days over the weekend? Well, I will tell you that I have to remind myself of this every time I get a little extra time off or whatever, that the vacation, the time off can be nice, and especially during the vacation, it can feel really nice. But if you want to really feel refreshed and relaxed and like have some load off of your mind, it doesn't come like vacation isn't going to give that to you. Time off on its own is not going to give that to you because eventually you have to return back to normal. And when you return back to normal, everything that was causing you stress beforehand is going to continue to cause you stress. But what you can do is find that rest, that relaxation, that refreshment from God. And I mean it, because Jesus can take some of that burden off of you where we're all going through. And again, we have all these things that in our normal day-to-day life are causing us stress. You can leave them behind temporarily, but you cannot leave all of that stuff behind you 100%. But God can come in and take that stress off of you by you talking to God, by you asking Jesus, hey, I've got a lot going on. I feel it weighing down on me and I want some help with it. God will come in and do something for you. He will come in and help you out with that. And all you need to do is ask. So if you're ready, if you're coming back on this Monday and you're like,
if you're overwhelmed already, and you're just started and it's just very early in the day.
I've got a mountain of stuff to catch up on from last week, and I don't feel like I'm any less tired at all. I don't want to go back to doing, it was so nice being away. Can't I just go back to doing that? No, you cannot. But what you can do is ask God to help you deal with it, and Jesus absolutely will.
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about the Riot for free? Radio U.
Of course, as we head into the holiday season, hoop-de-doo, we are going to be getting a lot more packages delivered, right?
Oh, it's massive right now. I was telling Hudson, I might have overindulged a bit last week in this, like on Black Friday.
Oh, yeah? Were you getting some deals?
Well, I just was like, yeah, sure, I would like that. And normally your mind tells you, well, let's stop and take a moment. But I didn't. And so I have a lot of packages coming.
When it's a deal, you don't have time to stop and think.
And
you just have to act.
I don't stop and think and choose the one box delivery because I still want it like right away.
Oh, yeah.
So I got boxes upon boxes.
Well, you know what comes along with having boxes upon boxes delivered to your door?
Recycling?
Well, I guess that's true. Porch pirates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch out for porch pirates. They are out and about this holiday season.
I've never been hit by a porch pirate, but I have definitely seen, because I'm a part of a Facebook community group.
Yeah.
You'll get those every few days around the holidays of someone politely asking where their package went.
This is the hay. This is your time to make hay if you're a porch pirate.
Is it?
Which is why we have a list of tips here for you to help crack down on porch pirates when it comes to your stuff and maybe stuff you're shipping to others. So step 1, nondescript packaging. Makes it harder to track down the package once they steal it.
They say request the item to be sent in a nondescript packaging, but that would be if maybe a family member sending you something.
Right.
But you can't. And I know if it's super expensive what you're buying, a lot of times that will be in a nondescript one.
You want to make sure that if that it doesn't say maybe where it's from.
Well, Amazon's like, let me wrap it in Amazon tape.
Right, yeah, we want a big advertisement.
Those are obvious.
They also say customize your delivery times. Mm-hmm. So if you know you're going to be home, but you probably have to pay extra for that. So you could just buy an extra thing if it gets stolen.
No, if not, like say you work from homes on Friday or something.
Yeah.
You could choose Friday to be like your delivery day.
Yeah. Let's see. Number 3, Ask a neighbor to watch out for it and grab your package when it arrives.
Dude, 9 times out of 10, they're the ones stealing your stuff.
Right.
No, thank you.
Yeah, they're just a suspect. Now you're just letting them know.
Now you're asking them.
Yeah. And then they can
take
say, "No, I didn't pick up a package."
Especially if you're at like
Never
an
saw
apartment
it.
complex, do not do that.
Yeah. Number 4, deliver it to your friend's house.
Yeah, you could do that.
Well, why wouldn't they get porch pirated?
Well, yeah, you're right, because you still have to. But maybe they're in an area
Now
that
you're just
gets
adding
less.
you're adding an extra suspects to the investigation.
But
if you
maybe
get
they're
pirated.
in a better area that's less affected.
Maybe a better area where there's better packages to steal.
Oh, true.
Number 5, deliver it to your work.
I do that a lot of times.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. If you're going to be in the building anyways, or somebody will be, not a horrible idea. Number 6, ship to store.
Oh, no one's saying that.
Wouldn't you like to have an extra errand?
I would rather have it stolen.
Yeah.
I have to go to the store to pick it up.
Especially when it's one that's not a store you normally go to anyways.
You're not tricking me by going into the store.
Right. I'm not going to go into the whole mall just to get my one present for somebody that's not even me.
No thanks.
Number 7, pick up from a delivery service. Is that a good one?
Well, that would be like an Amazon Locker or FedEx or UPS. Like they have different areas you can have it sent to instead of your place. But
again, it's another errand.
It is.
Although I've used the lockers before for Amazon, it's not the worst. It's actually a pretty easy setup there. I've got one very close to my house. So if it is convenient for you, it's not the worst. 8, track your package. Then you'll know exactly when it gets stolen.
That's so comforting.
Yeah.
These are ways they say to help stop porch pirates, like to make sure you're tracking and aware of your stuff in case it gets stolen.
Number 9, request signature confirmation.
Because then they'll just slap you with a thing saying that they tried and they never did.
Yeah.
And then you'll get it days
The
later.
signature thing never works out. Plus, when you do have things that you need to sign for, people, they just let anybody sign. They don't know if it's you or not.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We also have leave instructions, a package lockbox.
Those are getting more popular.
What's that?
It's like you have a container at your front door where they go into it and it locks. So it's like a mailbox for bigger packages.
Yeah.
They look ridiculous, but if you're in an area, again, that gets hit a lot, then it might be worth it.
And let's see, security cameras so you know exactly who's stealing your package.
See, Grace
As if
just
you could just
texted
track them
about
down.
that.
Yeah.
Well, at least that way, if you go to the police with a package that's been stolen, even if you have their stuff, they won't do anything about it.
Right,
It's
because
too
that's
small.
the last one. Report your stolen package.
They're not going to do anything.
Although your best bet is not going to the police. It's just telling Amazon or whoever that it was stolen.
What if, as a side job, you became a package hunter and people could, send you the footage and then you
Dog
go track
the package hunter?
Exactly. You could go and track down these packages for people and just really then take the people into the police station.
If nothing else, that'd be a great TV show.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy dandy fast forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It seems that we're talking a lot about Canada today. I think that may be because while here in the U.S., we just enjoyed a nice, quiet holiday weekend.
Oh, so not a lot of news?
Yeah, all the news, people were off and whatever, nothing to report. Over in Canada, it's just another weekend.
Just another weekend.
They're up there making news. And so we're going to take a trip up to Canada to the Micmac Mall.
Ooh, what?
I like that.
What is that, do you think?
The
Micmac Mall?
Yeah.
Who's Micmac? Or Mac? Or Mick?
I don't know. You know what? I don't have an answer to that. I don't know
But
everybody
you're Canadian,
in Canada.
you're supposed to.
I don't know
Yeah.
everybody.
You're supposed to tell me that Mick Mac was a famous hockey player
Yeah.
who owns half of Tim
Actually,
Hortons.
Exactly.
I don't think you would think, right? I'm not sure. It might be a Native American name, to be quite frank with you. But Micmac Mall is in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And I actually might know somebody in Dartmouth. I have to check. I don't know if they still live there. But in their Micmac Mall, they have a talking Christmas tree. Its name is Woody. It's huge. And have you guys seen the
video of
footage,
it?
the pictures, and heard Woody talk?
I unfortunately have. And if I was a child that walked into the Micmac Mall and I saw that, I would be clutching my mother's leg.
Yeah, right.
It might be the creepiest thing I've seen in a long time.
It's just because it's a big Christmas tree and it's just covered in ornaments. So like you don't really see any tree itself.
And it
it's
is
just all
massive.
ornaments.
It's like at least 2 stories high.
It is, and then you have this big face, and that's Woody, the talking tree.
Yeah.
And so, do you talk to him instead of like talking to Santa, or what do you do? Is he just at the
is
mall?
it instead of of Santa, or is he one of Santa's friends?
He
I don't
cannot
know.
be one of Santa's friends. you
don't
can't
know.
advertise
He's one of
like
Santa's
that.
enemies.
Yeah, he's the bad guy in the movie. It's the
I mean,
bad Christmas tree.
Maybe don't you remember the classic Christmas Canadian story
Oh, yeah.
of the talking Christmas
Catch
tree?
it on
Yeah,
CBC. Woody the talking tree
Yeah, we just didn't
tries
know.
to take down Christmas until Santa and Rudolph and all the friends teach him about the joy and love that Christmas can
It's not
bring.
the first time, especially if you go to Europe. There's a lot of Santa, like Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
Like Krampus and whatnot.
Yeah, because they're supposed to try to scare you into being good. For this tree, I don't even want to ask for anything.
Yeah.
I just would be fine not getting something.
Well, of course, the news story is all like, "Oh, everybody in town loves Woody the tree." At
Likely
the Micmac
story.
Mall. Yeah,
Likely
and
story.
I just look at it and I thought that the malls were trying to get us to come back. Like, like this. We wonder why malls are dead because they've got giant evil Christmas tree faces.
Well, they say kids were a little creeped out, but that's part of Woody. That's the magic
Oh yeah,
of it.
That's
And
the
it's just
magic
a
of
part-
Woody.
It is. And it's been 15 years.
That's what we aim for.
Since Woody was at the Micmac Mall in Canada, and now he's back. For us here, I mean, Woody would be like Toy Story.
Yeah.
If I heard, go see Woody at the mall, I'd be like, well, what's the Disney thing going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
So, but this is the talking Christmas tree.
The reason he's in the news, I guess, is because he's gotten a redesign. You would have thought they would have redesigned him to look less insane and scary.
Yeah, like it's been 15 years since they used them last, and what my question is, it's like 2021. Why does it look so creepy still?
Right.
I
else
feel
did they
like
do?
they could have at least made it look a little more realistic.
Well, I think then
This
that would
face
still look weird.
looks like a mask. Like it looks like a scary mask from Halloween that you would put on
Yeah.
your face if you were trying to scare people. I don't know why they would bring this back and still have it be so creepy.
Well, the refresh for his look took a team of six people, 3 weeks to complete. And it's
I think they should have
it's
taken a little
hand-done.
longer.
I think they need 10 or 12 people apparently because these 6, they need some more brainstorming.
Well, we haven't been to the mall in a while, but who knows? Even our malls here, if there's something creepy for Christmas, that's the season.
The 6 people that made this Woody face, they start sending out their resumes for the next job they're looking for. And this is the top of the thing. And why do I keep getting passed over?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, and again, I'm not sure like if he replaces Santa in Canada there or if you just go when you're at the mall
Well,
to go to the talking tree.
Let's be clear. All of Canada does not endorse this. This is strictly the Micmac Mall.
It's not anything else.
Yeah. And we I don't know too much about the Micmac Mall, but I think we can cordon them off from the rest of the country.
I know enough now to know
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
I
That's
think it'd
right.
be awesome though if you went to the mall and the tree really told you how it is.
Yeah.
Like really told you.
Yeah. Go over to Macy's for some great deals.
The Riot promise is that they'll always have an opinion on everything they talk about, but that doesn't mean any of their opinions will make sense. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Did you know that at South Korea, they are finally just now opening up concerts again for the first time since the coronavirus all shut everything down there, which is interesting because they were one of the first to start playing baseball.
Yeah.
But I don't think they had crowds for that. Anyways, for a while, it seemed like they were leading the way in reopening, and now they're just now opening up concerts. But they say that if you want to go to a concert in South Korea, you are not able to sing along with the bands that are playing.
If it's over 500 people.
Over 500 people, it's an
Yeah.
important distinction.
And you cannot sing, you cannot yell, you cannot scream. You have to be quiet.
Yep.
But you can clap your hands.
Basically, that's
Even though
all you
wouldn't
can
that
do.
just push things around. I mean, it still pushes the
You're
air.
also not allowed to breathe.
Yeah, but you can enjoy the concert for as long as you can remain
As long as you can
alive.
hold your breath,
Yeah, you're good.
You can go in and see BTS, but it's quite a change because BTS just played a show in Los Angeles,
Oh
Inglewood.
my gosh. Was anybody else's TikTok nothing but that? It got so annoying.
Not mine.
Okay, well, my For You page was all that. I was just like, can I please see something else?
Yeah, we live in different TikTok worlds.
Oh, you do?
The algorithm is treating us very differently.
I don't know, but I got a lot of stuff from that. But they're saying, yes, how the difference is here, you can still sing along and yell and scream and stuff. But what bands are doing in South Korea is they're releasing clapping guides
Oh,
so you
really?
can clap along to the songs.
Yeah.
Like you would sing along to the song so that the
You
band
got-
can still feel like a part of, encouraging encouraged by the audience.
Do you have to do like really intricate claps then?
I don't know.
It's
I
not
didn't
just
see.
like
It's like
you got to have a lot of rhythm to be able to get that down.
You got to really put some, oomph into it. And so you can clap along at the shows because you're not allowed to sing or yell or do like fan chants.
You know what would happen?
What?
If it was, what it's going to be like, you go to a concert, you read the clapping guide, and you're just clapping. They probably keep it pretty simple, right? Most people, you don't have a great sense. I mean, you just have the average sense of rhythm. There's only so much clapping.
That you can do?
But then there's probably some show off, just like there was at the concert that's trying to they know all the words. They're trying to really sing it. But it'd be even more evident the clapping show off where he's really going off because he studied the clapping guide, but he also is a professional clapper.
Yeah.
So, or at least he wants to be. And he's like, oh, if I clap good enough, they'll invite me up on stage. I'll be the clapper.
Well, I feel like if you sing, you can sing along and your voice is just, in with the crowd.
Drowned out, yeah.
But if you're clapping, they can see if you really lack rhythm and if you're clapping
you can
off
really
the
stick
guide.
out.
Yeah. But we don't have that problem here. This is just in South Korea where, again, if you're at a show over 500 people, you have to remain silent during the show. So now they're sending clapping guides so you know how to clap during the songs.
I also wonder how they enforce that.
Enforce what?
Like, how do they...
Oh, the no yelling?
Who's stopping people from chanting and yelling and screaming and singing?
Well, the yelling police. I don't know, ushers, guides.
It's a totally different country, so I don't know how things work there. But here, you can't even stop people from lighting it up inside a club. And in Korea, you're going to keep people from singing. I don't know. It's going to be tough. Especially, what are you going to do? You're going to kick the whole crowd out? That's probably what they would do.
Actually, they would just stop the show. Yeah. All right, way to give them the idea.
Yeah, right. Concerts are canceled once again.
Hudson ruined it for everybody.
In Korea.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. RadioU.
I have an offer for the two of you.
Oh, yay.
That sounds good.
What are we getting?
It is an offer. You can make about $200,000.
Okay.
I like this so far.
All you need to do is sell your face and voice to a robot company.
For what?
They're going to use it for making a line of robots.
Oh, really?
They want it to look and sound like potentially you.
Isaiah, what do you think?
See, I think I sell my voice pretty much every single morning. So this wouldn't be anything that different.
Good call.
But my face, I don't really sell as often. But I would absolutely, if I was chosen, I would absolutely do that. But there's no chance, 0% chance they would ever choose my voice, I don't think.
You don't think so?
No,
You
no
got
chance.
into radio. You must have a pretty decent voice.
No, I didn't get into radio because of my voice. No way. I got into radio because I say stupid things consistently.
That it's a formula, You normally have to have a bit of a voice.
Maybe the robot will say stupid things just like you.
If they need a robot that everybody can make fun of, then I have a robot for them. They can choose me.
So are they looking for one person to be the voice and the face of the robot? Or are they looking for a bunch of people and there'll be different offerings? Or
that I am not sure about, but I think they are taking applications for basically everybody. Any race.
You can't get this anyways, Isaiah.
You just said basically everybody.
No,
why can't
not
I?
You. Well, they're looking for a kind and friendly appearance.
Is that why I can't have it or what?
I'm getting to it. They say you can be any race or gender, but you have to be over 25.
Oh my God.
So
You're not
you're
quite
too
there, are
young.
you?
That's ridiculous.
I wonder why that is.
Over 25?
Why does it matter?
You think it's like a legal rule because it's like selling your likeness for some
But
reason?
still, you'd think it'd be I think over 18 would make more sense than over 25.
If it's for different countries and stuff, because is rental cars 25?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say once you have to be 25 to rent a car.
So there must be something.
And once you get there, you get kicked off of your parents' health insurance.
Yes,
That's what I know.
So that's why it's 25.
Yeah, there you have it. So Isaiah, you're gonna have to wait a few years.
Well,
and by
they're
that time,
missing
they'll
out.
already have this position filled.
They
I like
are missing
how
out.
Zach just texted it. I noticed you guys don't dispute that Isaiah says stupid things repeatedly.
Nobody questioned that at all. Everyone's like, oh yeah, that is it. I guess they will have to look into that if they're considering you as an applicant.
I guess you could also get a robot to do that at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you could have an Isaiah with you, and then Isaiah gets paid $200,000.
Yes,
sounds
Isaiah
fantastic.
Bot. He will tell you that oysters are trees, and
That wasn't stupid.
that libraries are bookstores.
I've said
Should
some
we
dumb
relive
things.
all of the stuff you've said on the
I've
show?
said some dumb things, but I agree with both of those to this day.
If you succeed in the application process, they'll take 3D model of your face and body for the robot's external features, and then you'll have to dictate at least 100 hours of speech material, which they could just take the stuff from the show.
Yeah,
To
right.
copy the voice, which will then be used by the machine to communicate with customers.
Sounds
so
like-
they'll be selling this into promoters, guides, concierge services. So this robot will be in like different businesses to help out.
Sounds like a lot of work.
I think if I showed up somewhere and there was like a robot version of me there, I'd be super freaked out.
Yeah?
Like they
You
have
think
my
so?
voice, my face on there. It
be
would freak
everything.
me out.
What do you think about this? If the robot that they use your face and voice for becomes perhaps the leader of the robot uprising
Perfect.
when they take over,
Well, then
you think
maybe-
they'd take it easy on you, though, the robots?
Yeah, they'd be
like,
confused. They would think you were the leader.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so you. It's actually a great idea. Or when the robots try to lead an uprising and it's your likeness doing it, then the rest of the human population will look
Hate you.
down on you.
They
Yeah.
will hate you.
They'll be like,
So-
they associate you with the evil robots.
The robots will be in hotels, shopping centers, airports, North America, and Middle East
Wow.
starting in 2023.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
You're vaguely familiar with football, right?
Vaguely, but
Vaguely?
more with the addition of you and Isaiah.
Yeah.
So I am more a part of it.
Have you ever played?
No.
All right. Well, here's a good question for you. You've never played football.
Yeah.
If you're the quarterback, which player do you line up behind? Who would snap the ball to you?
The snapper.
You're pretty close.
Does that work? I don't know.
It is the center.
The center.
Okay. I thought you might know.
No.
But I'll tell you, that's
I
fine.
don't like labels.
It's okay if you don't know because even professional quarterbacks don't always know.
Sure. The terms.
Example A is Kirk Cousins. He's the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. And late in the game yesterday against the San Francisco 49ers, he went up to snap the ball, and he lined up behind the guard. Now, let me paint the picture for you if you don't understand. In football, typically you have the offensive line. It's 5 guys.
Yeah.
2 tackles on the end, 2 guards, and then the center is in the center.
Yeah.
He's the one who snaps the ball. So it's pretty easy
So you get
to
behind
figure
him.
out. You get to
Yeah.
behind the guy that 1 is holding the ball and 2 is in the middle. But Kirk Cousins couldn't do that. And so it's really it's sad almost to watch the video.
I'm watching it.
He lines up behind the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And his running back has to run up behind him and like scooch him over. He's like, hey, wrong guy, bud. And they had to actually call a timeout so that he didn't make a complete fool of himself.
Sure.
Or so that the play clock didn't run out. They did wind up losing the game. This was a very important play in the game.
Oh, now they can just blame it all on him.
Right. But, there's a few football fundamentals you kind of want your quarterback to know, especially in crunch time when you're trying to score a touchdown to tie or win the game.
There was that guy a few weeks ago who he plays, and he was saying how he didn't know that you could tie for a football game.
That seems to always happen, doesn't
So
it?
I guess in the heat of the moment, he was just probably just so focused, and he focused on the wrong guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's they still wound up losing, but it's fortunate for him that they didn't lose solely because
Of his
they had to
thing.
call a
Yeah.
timeout there.
So that was the Kirk Cousins, the quarterback for the Vikings.
Yeah. You know who would never do that?
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, come on.
You know who's never done that? As far as I know, every other quarterback who has ever played in the NFL.
Maybe they just didn't notice as much.
Yeah.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
It is a great pleasure of ours to get to talk to Andrew from Project 86.
Yay.
It's been a while since we got to catch up with him. How you
Good
doing,
morning.
Andrew?
It's good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Did you have a
Yeah.
good Thanksgiving and a good weekend?
Yeah, everything was perfect. I think I weigh a lot more. That's why they make gym memberships, right?
That's true.
That's right.
On the show not too long ago, we talked about how, like, in King days in the UK and stuff, how they used
Oh,
to,
yeah.
weigh people before the king would have a big party, like, at the palace for the weekend. And then you'd weigh on your way out to make sure that you had a good enough time that you gained weight from eating so much. So
That was the gauge,
yeah,
right?
that was the whole time to do it. So, like, coming out of this weekend with a lot of leftovers and Thanksgiving, we all should have been weighing the entire time to see see what we gained.
Oh, nobody needs to know that.
You don't want to? Well, I'm glad you had a really good weekend. That's good.
So,
And same to you.
Yeah.
yeah. So it was also a good weekend because your new Christmas song is out for everybody now. Is that right? Carol of the Bell Towers?
Yeah, that dropped on Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So we've been really excited about that one. We've been pumping that one up, and it's a little heavier sound for Project 86 and kind of a hint of what is to come as well.
So
Nice.
because
In many ways.
with that being your final Christmas song, like was there a long list of songs for Christmas stuff that you wanted to do, or how did you come with picking that one?
It's increasingly difficult to pick a song for Christmas because we've done so many in the past. So that was the one that popped in my head right away that we hadn't done. And I was like, oh, I love this song. I know it's been done by other bands, but let's try to do something different and unique with it. Change the lyrics. It's definitely, it has a different tone than the original now, which was the goal.
Make your own project version of it. So
Yeah,
Nice.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what we've done with a lot of the Christmas music that we've recorded over the years, is try to put a twist on it so it sounds like our own. So it doesn't, because there are so many artists out there that cover Christmas songs, and there are only so many classic songs.
that can work.
You end up recording something that's been done so many times, so you have to put a different spin on it if you want it to stand out.
Well, you guys can check the new Project 86 Christmas song, Carol of the Bell Towers, available on our Christmas channel.
Yes,
But then it's
of
also
course.
streaming now. So Andrew and Project 86, you're doing the final chapter. Like that's your campaign for the final Project 86 stuff. And I know the final album's been completely funded. And is the update that you're still writing it, or how far along is it?
Yeah, we're still working on writing at this point. It will be in at least another couple of months. We're definitely trying to approach this as if it's special. So
Well, it
putting
is.
a little more. Yeah. It's I can't put it into words. You've been doing this for 25 years and the end is upon you. So you have to go out the right way and without trying to put too much pressure on the process or on yourself, really just continue to write and write and write. And you're chasing a feeling, when you hear the music. And we've thankfully captured some of those moments already. And so, okay, this is the bar. Now we have to hit it with all the material. So as long as that takes, but yeah, we've just hit the most recent stretch goal. We're doing an extra EP called the Brutality EP. That's the working title, which is just going to be heavy metal. It's going to be way heavier than Project has always been more rock leaning, and this is going to be way heavier.
Is it still new songs that'll be heavier, or is it just re-versions of your older songs, or is it all new?
New.
Okay.
In addition to the album, and we'll be releasing some new stretch goals shortly here as well. So we're still going. This campaign's going to run basically as long as the fans want it to run. I mean, it's a pre-order campaign, but we also have a Patreon. So if you just go to project86.com, that's my plug, you can support the final chapter for Project 86 via Patreon or pre-order.
And there's a lot there.
I was going to say, I've been keeping track, and there's so much stuff, like with not just the album, but the Christmas song and the EP and all the other stuff. I know it's all for the fans and the supporters, but do you ever think to yourself, this is so much work?
Too many incentives, you mean?
Right.
It's insane. And we've done this before. And by the end of the process, I was definitely tired. And so in strategizing this go round, there were some considerations put into that to make sure there wasn't any burnout. But at the same time, we're continuing to build and offer more and more things as we go along. And also, I'm not doing everything alone.
Yeah.
I have plenty of help.
Oh, that's good.
So but there was definitely intention put into that thought in mind, like, okay, let's not take on too much here.
Well, I like, though, how you spell it out. If you go to Project 86 website, because some bands, when they do so much, like some is like they don't want to tell the news now, and this is hidden and secret in this. And it's great if you just go right there on the main page. You can learn about the Brutality EP, the Christmas song, if you want to help with the final chapter for that. So it's all spelled out and updated, so you can kind of get the most up-to-date info. That way, if you want to celebrate with Project 86 and the final chapter, you know what you can do to be a part of it. So that way you can go there and find out.
I wanted to ask, I don't know if we'll get a chance again to talk before the album comes out, but as you go through and write the final chapter and record, do you feel that you're trying to kind of tie all of the music you've done previously together and this is putting a bow on all of it? Or is it just completely 100% whatever you're feeling at the time and it's its own thing?
When we first started writing music, it was exactly what you just articulated. Like, let's really, be intentional about highlighting the classic Project 86 sound without repeating ourselves, but really give a nod to that. But the further we go, the more I feel, and everybody working on this thing feels like, let's just push the envelope. Let's just do what feels best here. And because we're writing an album that is more aggressive, we're writing material that's more aggressive, but it's also more dramatic, I guess. We're writing a score to a story rather than just writing tracks for an album, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Sure.
The further we go, the weirder it gets, and I love that.
Yes,
I love that because it's album 11.
Yeah.
Album 11. So you have to reinvent. You have to try something new. Otherwise, it's just, no, we did that on album 4. We did that on album 7. We did that on album 8. We did that on album 2. Whatever. So the only thing as an artist that keeps things fun and fresh and interesting is pushing that envelope creatively, sonically.
For the 11th time.
Hopefully exactly. So
we're so excited.
And you, as you can imagine, yeah, totally. Thank you so much.
Of course, take all the time, because it seems like with connecting everything together in the final chapter, 2 months might not be enough. You take all the time, man. We'll look forward to all the new stuff when it comes out.
I keep breaking the deadlines. We're doing this by this date, but it's always tentatively, and the fans and supporters are very, very understanding.
Well, the longer you take to release,
they know what goes into it.
The longer you take to release the final album, the longer everybody gets to spend with you, still being an active band.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, please stay up to date for Project 86 for Andrew and for the final chapter. And then a reminder, we'll play Carol the Bell Towers, the new Christmas song.
Yes.
That's streaming now. And then please go to the website to check out for Project on how you can help with the album and pre-orders and just, always supporting the band since there is so much going on.
Just want to say thanks one more time, TVU, RadioU, for being so supportive over the years. I'm confident this probably won't be the last time we speak.
Of course.
I have to say that you guys have been so consistently great in your, I can't think of another word, your support of the band.
Aww.
So over the years, and all the listeners and viewers as well. So appreciate all of you so much. And yes, please check out all of the above. And thank you guys for having me.
Oh, thanks
for making great music and joining us.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.